All right, guys, welcome once again. This is Gwyn with me. It's Retorp, and that last game that we just saw, Retorp, was pretty insane. That was game one, of course, of the FnaticRaidCall finals between aLive and Seed. aLive on Team Fnatic, Seed, of course, a member of IM, and Seed's pick of map, because it was loser pick map in this, was Daybreak, which, considering he lost to drop play, I don't know. I mean, what do you think of this map choice?
It's still a good map, I think, overall for PvT. I think Terran has a little bit of troubles, actually, at that mid-game stage. Even the mid-game, I always talk about how Metropolis is really good for early game and mid-game. I think mid-game is a little bit tougher on this map in particular because it's really easy, actually, to defend your main and natural. That's one of the common things. I mean, your main natural are open, and then taking a third. Well, if you defend your main, you pretty much defend your natural. It's very easy to just force field off a ramp, and then you're all good to go. Defending your third is actually really easy. Force fields are a lot more relevant over there. So I think overall, defending third bases and then just going into the end game stage are rather simple, and you can also do a ton of mid-game pushes that are so threatening.
Right, especially knocking down that third path through the middle, so you have a little bit shorter of a time. And we'll have to see if that is what Seed's game plan is, or if aLive has some tricks up his sleeve. We're going to go ahead and jump straight into this game. I'm excited for this to get started. Are you excited with me, Greetor?
Oh, I'm so excited. Let's go.
All right, we're going to go ahead and get started in 3, 2, and 1. And, of course, as the purple Terran, once again, we do have aLive from Team Fnatic spawning in the upper right-hand position.
In the bottom left-hand position, we have IMSeed, who fell last game. A little bit interesting. Seed definitely showing that he has the capacity to do a ton of mind games. Now, a little bit about that build that he did last game. Even though I was talking, yes, he should have kind of defended against that dropship play. What he was trying to do was look like he was doing super hard aggression, and he always had the capacity to do so.
Yeah.
But because it's a big map, he's like, okay, well, I forced my opponent to play so
super defensively, And 2 extra, was it 3 extra bunkers?
Exactly. 3 extra bunkers, a ton of Marines and Marauders, and SCVs off the line. It does delay you a little bit, but what he was able to do behind that was take an expansion on also tech. And normally when you do both of those, it's death. Like, you don't have any army to actually compensate and defend against all of the areas. But he was just relying on his opponent playing a little bit more conservative. Those drops really caught him off guard. He was hoping that they would come out maybe a minute later, but aLive, being the good player that he is, he was just like, nope, it's not going to happen. I'm just going to play standard and get my medevacs as fast as possible and surprise my opponent when he thinks I'm not capable of doing this.
Absolutely, and I think, one of the big things to note there, and you touched on a little bit, is just that you can only do so many things at a time in this game. You have to decide whether you're going to invest the money that you have in economy, whether you're going to invest it in tech, or whether you're going to invest it in army. And you can't really do all 3 of those at the same time. And what Seed decided was he was going to invest, of course, in tech and in economy. And that just meant that he didn't really have the army, especially moreover, the army in the right place to deal with those medevacs.
Precisely. Now, let's go ahead and look at this game.
Yeah, this is...
aLive is the one doing the fancy pants tricks. He is going for a second barracks.
Yeah, I mean, and going 2 racks, I mean, this is kind of, especially with the timing of those barracks with 1 on 12 and 1 on, I believe it was 14, that almost looks like he's playing the wrong matchup right now. This looks like a Terran versus Zerg opening out of aLive. That's a very aggressively positioned barracks, too. That's pretty close to much shorter run distance to the natural of his opponent.
A much common build that we see coming out from Protoss is actually Nexus first, and I think that's what aLive was putting on. Nexus first, just because Daybreak is a very long distance map, and it's hard to do any early game pressure, so he's trying to play towards the metagame. aLive is going to be very sad when he gets in here and sees no expansion.
Well, I mean, it is going to be 1 gate expand, so I mean, Seed doesn't have a lot of units. I mean, he's not going to have a lot of units. He hasn't even started a Zealot. Looks like he's waiting for that Stalker for his first unit. And yes, there it is.
It doesn't matter. aLive is going to punish this so easily. When you don't have a first Zealot, that's actually crippling. And look at this. SCVs.
He's bringing the SCVs. This is...
He's trying.
You get a little bit misrallied there, but a lot of Marines streaming down the map, taking a look at some of those unit counts. It's going to be 7 Marines and quite a few SCVs against 23 probes. The Stalker is not even out yet. He's not chronoing it. He's just going for his gateway chronos. And this is going to completely catch Seed by surprise. I don't think he's going to be able to hold this. This is pretty tricky out of aLive. I like it.
Yeah, this is going to be crippling. Now, aLive needs to actually disregard this Nexus. If he goes for the Nexus, it will give Seed a lot more time to actually defend against this. But there's one Stalker caught out of position, and it gets shields taken off. Can he get additional Stalkers out in time to actually defend this? There's one big Arcosis pylon. Oh, God, no.
Looks like we have the Sentry next, and all the Marines and SCVs are up the ramp before the Sentry can get out, so that Sentry useless as far as force fielding goes. The SCVs getting a surround on the Stalker and the Sentry at the top of the ramp just there, and the GG out of Seed as he was losing every single probe he had. That was a really quick game number 2 right there.
Yeah, very straightforward, obviously.
And aLive's now up 2-0 in this. So, I mean, Seed is facing elimination with the next upcoming game.
I'm interested to see where Seed actually goes to take this, so hopefully we'll see if he can make the right choice when we come back for this 3rd game.
Absolutely.